So the second part of the orientation to Module 2, I'm going to focus on the questions associated with your final project, which is 40% of your overall grade, which is due June 27th, which would be the date for the final exam. So there are 4 questions that I'm asking you to take a look at in your final project. So you're going to get together with at least 3 other classmates and using Blackboard Collaborate, discuss these first 3 questions. So in what ways does the list of 11 topics that are included in the IES document speak to issues and trends in special education today? How does the omission of certain topics speak to what is considered important? What are the important issues in special education today? So, for example, as we spoke about in the previous orientation, the fact that there's a separate funding stream for children with autism spectrum disorder speaks to how autism is viewed as a disability category because of its rising incidence. At this point in American society, 1 out of 68 students being identified as having autism. The second question is, how does the language included in the topics in the competition speak to the issues? For example, there's this focus on malleable factors. Malleable factors, which are factors that change over time. These are a focus for how the competitions are viewed, how funding is given, as opposed to a project to identify the genetic causes of a disability. Those are not considered as fundable as looking at malleable factors. A lot of the language in the topics also has to do with looking at outcomes, specific educational outcomes. So what does that say about how the issues are viewed? So looking at the language in the topics and in the goals, come up with some themes that suggest what the important issues are. The third question is, to what extent does the amount of funding associated with each goal speak to the importance of that goal? Some goals are funded to a higher extent than others, to a fuller extent than others. For example, the effectiveness studies fund up to $3.5 million per project, whereas the exploration studies don't. So that kind of speaks to how those different studies are viewed, not only in terms of their importance, but also in terms of how difficult they are to conduct. So that is another aspect of how the issues are viewed that you're going to want to discuss and address in your final project. And then finally, once you had that discussion on your own, go back and prepare your answers to those 3 questions, and then do a literature review looking at research on that particular topic and how much of it is out there, for example, as the basis for deciding if you were to propose on a particular topic. Would you propose under Goal 1, Goal 2, Goal 3, or Goal 4 based on the existing literature on interventions on that particular topic? So you're going to go out, take a look at some studies, identify how extensive the research has been under that topic, and then come to a conclusion based on the research, what goal you would propose a project under for that particular topic. Okay, so your project is addressing these 4 questions. Part of it you're going to work in groups. Part of it you're going to do on your own. All of your answers, however, will be developed individually, even though there might be some overlap, certainly on your responses to questions 1 through 3. And that'll be due on June the 27th. If you have any questions, email me. I'd be happy to answer. Good luck.